Hey, it's Kayla. I'm going to be talking about learning styles and different ways that they can be measured. Just from being in school and hearing people talk about this, um, I would say the most common ways to measure them would be either the right brain, left brain, thinking styles, or like the VAK, which is visual, auditory, kinesthetic. Um, as far as the left brain, right brain, I would read the descriptions and I would say, well, I fit this in the left brain and I fit this in the right brain, you know. And I would find that it would do a lot of things that I would be a pretty well mix of both of them. And I would find the descriptions to be just telling me like things that I told in the test. And the VAK, I didn't see really my strengths in any of the descriptions. And I didn't really find myself great at any of them. So, people would tell me stuff about myself, like I was empathetic, or I was creative, or I was insightful, and those descriptions weren't in there at all. So I was like, do people not value what I'm good at, or I don't know, do I just suck at learning? I mean, yeah, that could happen. I don't know. People have told me I was smart and stuff, but like, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's, really just hard, I don't know, to like, no, but now looking back, I know about MBTI, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm an intuitive, and those things were describing, ways to learn through the five senses. That makes sense. I get that now. And recently I found two different ways to measure learning styles that, you know, I believe one of them was made by an NF and the other was made by an NT. And reading the descriptions, found I could correlate them to the MBTI types. And this is me, correlating them, like I'm sort of connecting them. So you could look into them yourself and like see like if you agree or if you already know about them. You could like, you know, see if you agree with me or disagree with me. Okay. Well, the first one, which I'm going to talk about is, I believe written by an NF. I could relate a lot to it. And I think the one the NT made also, they correlate more with each other than MBTI, and specifically because they're talking, about learning and retaining information, that sort of thing. So they describe things in slightly different ways, part of it, but also I feel like they're describing the same thing, only they're, describing it in different ways. Not in different ways, but, they have a slightly different take on it. But I notice like similarities, and yeah, the NF one, which I'm going to be describing. Anthony Gregorc, I found relating his types easier for me, and yeah. So I'm going to be talking about him. I'm making a video talking also about David Cope, who made another sort of way to measure learning styles afterwards. Okay, so well, he measures people in if they are abstract or concrete, which would make sense to measure, intuition and sensing, I would say. And I would say, yeah, they definitely, correlate very well. And then he has a different way of measuring people. Random or systematic. So random, I would say it's more like, if you like to learn in more of an unstructured way. Systematic, more structured, guidelines, and then random, more informal, and then systematic, more formal. I would say, yeah, that would make sense, even though it's not really talking about anything, in MBTI. I would see these things in MBTI. So like, NFs, I would say would be in the category of abstract random, NTs abstract systematic, SJs concrete systematic, SPs concrete random. And this makes sense, when I heard a few of the descriptions. It talked about NFs learning a lot through like group discussion and like sharing ideas and how they feel about something, and NTs a lot about, systems and sort of like an impersonal way, like research sort of thing, and SJs liking structure and order, and SPs liking, to learn through experience, that sort of thing. And, things along that line. And I definitely fit a lot with the abstract random description. At first I wasn't sure if I was abstract systematic. Cause I mean, it might just be from being a J in general, but I feel like I'm somewhat systematic, and even like from talking to people, like, cause in my head I feel like I'm totally scatterbrained, but then I talk to people who like, know me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty scatterbrained, and they're like, you're really not scatterbrained. And then I think about it, and I'm like, I guess when I talk I'm really not, which is weird because I feel like I am in my head, but somehow I just am not when I'm describing something, which is kind of weird, but um so but then I realized, oh no, it's, you know, talking about like more like formal and informal was the way that I sort of understood it like best. I mean, and then reading just the description in general for um abstract random fit me. So yeah, makes sense. Um I definitely would agree with the description of abstract random for me, and I would say Anthony Gregorc got a lot of it right. Who I'm pretty sure is an NF. And also, you know, yeah, I would say it fits in pretty well. Okay, so if anyone else wants to, you know, tell me if they agree with this, you know. Anthony also, well, I, he said that for the learning styles, also this is another thing, which I read that he said that it was mostly for measuring adults. Like I mean, it could measure kids, but he also, you know, like for the questions and how measures people. Um, you know, you see descriptions like adjectives, and you have to pick which one is most like you and which one is least like you. And he thought that would be hard for kids, you know, for various reasons, because of like what they feel like they should do, and like the school mindset, and not knowing themselves, and he didn't want it to do harm in any way, so that's why. And you know, I agreed. I thought that was um pretty cool of him to do, and he also um like he had like, I guess it's for adults, but I mean kids have it too, which I guess it's just about going about how to measure them. So alright, yeah, so if you agree with this, you see a connection to MBTI, yeah, just tell me about it.